Good morning, it's the TMI Queen. I just realized I need to change my shower curtain to the winter shower curtain. So today is my Friday off, and I have a couple of fun activities planned. So the first thing that I have planned is I'm going to get my hair done and get the color changed for the winter time. I'm going to go with burgundy this time. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is going to the doctor, which was not on the initial plan, but sometimes it's like that. Why am I going to the doctor? Well, I'll tell you. So, as you know, I have been on this weight loss medication for the last 2 months. I have been having great success. I have lost 25 pounds so far. It's been great. The first 4 weeks, I really had no issues except for a little bit of constipation. And honestly, if that's the worst thing that happens, I'm still doing okay. It usually resolved itself by the end of the week, so not a big deal. But then, you're supposed to go up in dosage just a little bit to the maintenance dose. And the maintenance dose was not as well tolerated as the initial dose. Almost immediately, my appetite went from suppressed to non-existent, which was a little concerning, but I figured, it just takes your body some time to get used to things. Eventually that would subside. The first day that I took the dose, I couldn't hardly eat. I couldn't hardly drink because I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. Like it just felt like it was sitting in place. It wasn't going anywhere. And I figured if it would continue to be a concern, I would call my doctor. No big deal. 2 days after I took the dose, I wake up around 3 a.m. and I am just having the worst gas pains of my life. I'm straight up not having a good time. And then within an hour, I was pooping my guts out. Nothing serious though. And I was just like, I did hear that diarrhea could be a side effect, so I was fully prepared for a little bit of diarrhea. What I wasn't prepared for was 5 straight hours of diarrhea, vomiting, and severe nausea. I literally forced myself to sleep so that I wouldn't have to feel as sick as I did. And so I was like, it's probably what I ate before. I just need to be more careful. So I talked to other friends who are on the exact same thing, and I'm like getting advice from them. And so, they're like, eat really light the day before, be almost on like a liquid soup diet the day of, and then the day after, eat like nothing but chicken and eggs and vegetables and just a little bit of fruit. That's the only food that you should be eating, and keep it light. After that, you'll be fine. And I'm like, all right, sure. So I do that, but I'm not like super vigilant about it. And same thing happens. My appetite is non-existent. And on the second day, going into the third day, I'm violently ill for 8 straight hours. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't think this is okay. Sorry, but my room is a mess here. That's all the grandkids' gifts that I have to wrap, and they just think it's a bunch of my junk piled up. They don't know it's for them, so that's where I'm leaving it. Plus, they can't reach it. Anywho, so it's the holiday weekend, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get a hold of the doctor to let him know the issues that I'm having. And I'm really not sure what to do. I talked to some friends who are on this medication and asking them if they're having these issues as well. And they're like, well, yeah, I did have that when my dose was too high. But I just went back down in dosage. Maybe that's what you need to do. And I'm like, I'm literally on the second, I'm like on level 2 here. And they go, well, maybe you need to start back over on level 1. They go, what does your refill say? And I said, well, my refill says to do the same thing I did last time. 4 weeks like this, 2 weeks like this. And they said, I'd follow the instructions then. It's kind of your doctor's fault for not writing the prescription correctly. And I'm like, true. So I think I'm going to do that. So I do that, and immediately the problem goes away. And I'm like, then that must have been the problem all along, is, I just was taking the wrong dosage. Maybe the other is too strong for me, even though it's like the lowest dose ever. And it's not even like the maintenance dose. But maybe I can try it again later. I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe my body's got to get used to things. Everything's fine for like a week. I'm doing great. The next week I take my next dose and my appetite kind of goes away a little bit. But I really didn't think much of it. I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But then I start to feel kind of the same way I did the first time I had an issue. I'm feeling like I have to poop a lot. But I did happen to make it to work, and I made it through most of the workday. Like the last 15 minutes is where I had to go home because I was afraid I was gonna poop and puke all over myself. I was not okay. I pooped for like the first 4 hours of the morning, which was annoying, but not like, I didn't feel sick or anything. I just had to poop a lot. But then I had lunch, and I kept it light, as I was supposed to, but it didn't matter. I felt sick as a dog. And it just got worse and worse and worse until like the last hour at work. Then I started to throw up, and I'm like, I gotta go. I can't do this anymore. I can't throw up at work. I just can't do it, because it turns into a 2-bucket situation, and there isn't a bucket. So it's make the choice of poop your pants or throw up on the floor. Either way, it's not a great, decision. So I was like, I gotta go. So anyhow, I leave, I go home. I'm sick as a dog. So I take an anti-nausea medication that I had on hand, and that takes care of the problem. But my stomach hurts really bad. I'm not throwing up anymore, but my stomach hurts really bad. So I go to sleep. I'm like, enough of this, I'll feel better when I wake up. And I did. But I called my doctor to let him know what was happening, to see if he had any good advice for me. And they said, well, he's not in right now, but he can call you back in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm like, that's no problem. I'm already feeling better now, but I would still like a call back to see, do I need to be seen? Is there something else I could be doing differently? Is there like a medication I could take for the nausea? There's a lot of options, so I just want to know what they are. So they said, yeah, we'll call you back in the next 24 to 48 hours. Great, right? Except nobody ever called me back. So that was fun. And I just thought maybe my doctor's blowing me off, because I always seem to have an issue with every medication that I take. But that's because I have lots of like sensitivities. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just one of those fun patients that has reactions to stuff. I can't help it. It just happens. But he didn't call me back, and I'm like, well, if it keeps up, I'll call him back and be a little more insistent about him calling me back. So I follow this diet religiously that everybody that's on this medication tells me to do. And so I do that, and I have no issues. And I'm like, yes. And then the next day comes and starts all over again. The puking and the pooping, and I couldn't go to work. And I'm like, I can't keep missing work like this. This is not okay. So I call again, and I tell them they never called me back last week. And she goes, oh, we have no record of you calling. What? What do you mean you have no record of me calling? Yep, no record of me calling whatsoever. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, okay, well, I need somebody to call me back because I need to know what to do. Do I need to stop taking the medication? Because that's kind of where I'm leaning. Or is there something else that can be done? I'm open to it if you have a good suggestion. They said, yeah, somebody will definitely call you back before the end of the day. And so I'm waiting for them to call me back, and I'm feeling like I could eat something at this point. So I go to make myself some breakfast at like 11 o'clock. And I'm just so itchy. It's driving me crazy. And I'm like, well, it's been like a day and a half since I took a shower. So I'm going to go take a shower first and then finish making my breakfast, and then I'll eat something. So I hop in the shower, and I'm taking a shower, and I notice my arm is itchy too. And so I finish rinsing my hair and I look down at my arm and it is covered in hives. And I'm like, what? That is not good. Because we have really bad allergies in my family, and usually hives is a precursor to anaphylaxis. So we definitely don't want to stop breathing. So I freak out. I barely finish rinsing my hair. I immediately get on the phone with the doctor's office again, and I said, hey, new symptom we need to add to that, to the doctor's call. I have hives, and it just like popped up all of a sudden, and I don't know what to do. I know I should probably maybe take some Benadryl, but I'm not sure if I should take it before being seen or after, and I don't really know what to do. And this receptionist, I don't know what her deal was, but she goes, well, I'm not a doctor. And I'm like, I'm aware that you can't give medical advice, but that's what I'm asking you is to ask the doctor so I can get some guidance. And she goes, well, he's not even in today. And I go, funny, because the previous receptionist that I talked to just 15 minutes ago said he was in and that he was seeing patients today. And she goes, well, he's not. I'm like, okay. Well, can I talk to his assistant then? Like a medical assistant, physician's assistant, nurse's assistant? I don't really care. Like, but I need some guidance here on what to do because I'm not okay. And she goes, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're the receptionist. You're supposed to be able to direct me to who I need to talk to. And she goes, well, I don't know what you want from me. And I'm like, well, I need to know, should I come in to be seen? Should I go to the walk-in clinic? Should I go to the ER? That's just all I really need to know at this point. And maybe should I take a Benadryl? I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. And normally they would be like, well, I can't really tell you what to do, but maybe go to the walk-in clinic or the ER. That's usually what they tell you. Not this chick. She's just like, I don't know what you want from me. Well, I don't know why you're calling me. And I'm like, that's what I'm paying you for. Like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, she's just giving me unnecessary attitude. And I'm like, okay, thanks, bye. And I just hung up on her because my next step was going to be cursing her out. And, you know, it's the holidays. I don't want to be that person. And I don't want to be accused of being a Karen either. So I'm just like, you know, no, thank you. I'm not going to be doing that. So anyhow, I just decided I'm going to go to the walk-in ER combo that we have down the road. They have both it's like a small community hospital, and it has a walk-in clinic, and then over here is the ER. So it's like right next door to each other. So I figure if I'm having a bad issue, they can immediately send me next door. So I'm like, I'm just going to go there and forget this chick. Like, I'm over it. I, finish rinsing my hair and take the dogs out and hurry up and get down to the hospital. And the doctor calls me while I'm waiting for the other doctor, and they're like, well, if you want to be seen on Friday. And I'm like, I have hives. Like, Friday's not going to do me any good. And they're like, oh, you have hives? I'm like, so this chick never told you that I have hives? And they're like, yeah, you need to get to the, ER or walk-in clinic. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already here. And I said, and apparently this chick didn't communicate with you that I'm having this issue too. And they're like, no. And I'm like, somebody needs to get fired. That's all I'm saying. So the ER doctor, or the walk-in clinic doctor says, yeah, definitely stop taking that medication. It sounds like you're having an allergic reaction. I definitely would not be taking that if I were you. So that's where I'm at now. And then I have to follow up with my general physician today. So that's what I get to do after doing my hair. I thought I was going to be able to finish my Christmas shopping and have a nice relaxing day, but apparently I'm going to spend it at the doctor's office instead. And we need to talk about next steps because I don't really know what to do. Being on this medication kind of gave me a good idea of the portions that I should be eating. It also gave me a good idea of what I should be eating. And I realized that as good as I thought I was being, I wasn't as good as I thought I was being, health-wise on this journey, so I could be doing better in some of those areas. And it did give me a little bit of a jump start as well. But I am concerned about the binge eating. If that's going to come back, I'm super concerned about that. So hopefully he's got some better suggestions, because honestly, I'm kind of at a loss. I'm going to just try to continue to stick to the same plan that I've been doing the last couple months as best as I can, to the best of my ability. And I think that's about all I can do at this point. So anyhow, that's my fun excitement. Oh, and also, finally, at long freaking last, I'm getting my fence. And I think I might get it finished today. They started putting up the poles yesterday. I've been pestering this fence company for like ever. And finally I said, hey, you said this was going to be done in November. It's still not done. I know my son called you and you said you'd have it done the first week of December. We're about to get a snowstorm and I don't see how that's going to happen. So are we looking at March? What are we looking at? And she goes, no, we're still planning to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, we've got a snowstorm coming and you told me last time you can't do it in a snowstorm. So what the heck? And she goes, nope, we'll be there tomorrow. So I got home and sure enough, they had the poles put up and had the old fence torn down. So they're supposed to be putting up the rest of it today. And hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, it should be done by the end of today. So here's hoping, because I really, 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 really wanted this fence before wintertime hit. When I'm not feeling well, if I'm having a migraine or, whatever, I want to just be able to let my dogs out in my backyard and not have to worry about the neighborhood dogs getting at them. I don't want to have to worry about them running away or getting dog napped. I don't want to have to worry about when I'm having a migraine or the flu, not feeling well enough to stand outside with them for any length of time. So now if I don't feel well, I just let them out the back door, let them do their business, and then let them back in like 10, 15 minutes later. We're good. So, and plus I can let them run around and they can actually get some exercise for a change. They haven't really been able to do that because I haven't been able to do that. So I'm really excited to get this fence up once and for all. I'm also excited too because then my grandkids can play in the backyard and I don't have to worry about, the neighbors seeing them back there. I always worry about them getting kidnapped as well. And it's not to say they can't let themselves into the fence, but it would be a lot more, it'd be noticeable if they did that. So I just don't worry as much when I have a fence. So I'm really excited about this, and I will definitely show you once I get this fence up what it looks like. And yeah, I said I need to have a fence warming party afterwards because it's about dang time. All right, so I'm going to get off of here and go finish getting ready so I can go get my hair done and go to the doctor, and I'll let you know how that goes when I get back. So here's my new hair color. It's so pretty. Thanks, Buffy. Thanks for that. Will you stop? Anywho, so we are looking at a new weight loss medication that I originally asked for at my last appointment, but he just ignored me and said, well, let's just try this one instead. So should have just listened to me in the first place, as per usual, but there we are. So that's where we're at, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the video of my new fence, and there was just a lot to squeeze into this particular video, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll let you know how things progress and continue. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week and a wonderful weigh-in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.